Wow, I barely got that in the rod holder and I got another fish on. Right there. What a deadly pattern. I'm working this secondary drop off. I'm out here, I'm in about 40 feet of water. I'm fishing about 20 feet deep. And you know, the fish were up shallow early. The sun's up. They're starting to transition out to the edge of the channel, that area out there. It's a small lake, and just intercepting them here as they move back offshore, and super effective. Got that Willow Leaf Pro, threaded crawler, slow death hook, number 2 hook, and simple as that. It's money. I'm not keeping any fish today, but I sure am having fun catching them. Oh, he's a chromer. He's beautiful. Here he comes, right there. Maybe a little high Sierra rainbow couldn't lay off that worm. Got him right in the lip. I'm going to put him right back in. Right through the lower jaw, just like that. Get him back in the water. And off he goes. Diamondbacks, sidewinders, fisheye dodgers, and fisheye pros with the patented moon crackle tape. FHS Dodgers flat out perform. Get yours now at fishhuntshoot.com. Howdy folks, Kel Kellogg here. I am out at French Meadows Reservoir again today. And once again, I'm dragging my Go Fish cam around, and behind it I have a turbo flasher and a threaded worm. And that brings me to an email I wanted to talk about. I actually got a comment from a viewer the other day, a guy named Daryl. It was actually a compliment. He's been a part of the Northern California kokanee and trout fishing scene for a long time. He knows a lot of the West Coast lure manufacturers, the trout, lure guys, the kokanee lure guys, and he's actually bought some of my gear over at fishhuntshoot.com. And what he said in his email was, he said a lot of these lure guys, they're not willing to fish other people's gear, and they're really not willing to fish natural bait. And the gist of his compliment was he was happy to see me, using natural bait, trolling things like anchovy and shad, and in this case, threaded night crawlers. And he said basically, I think the exact quote was, he said he finds it refreshing that I'm able to go out and use kind of old school techniques and still catch fish. So let me kind of add to that. I think this is a good point. I think whether it's trout fishing or ocean fishing, river fishing, whatever, I think at a certain point there's a group of anglers that think they're either too skilled or too cool to use natural bait. And I gotta tell you, these guys are handicapping themselves, and I've seen it time and time again out on the lingcod boats. I'll have guys on the boat and they're telling me about, I've got this super awesome swim bait, and they're great baits, don't get me wrong, and I'm gonna win the jackpot today, and the lingcod can't lay off of it. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna fish a 24-ounce sinker, and I'm gonna fish a frozen mackerel, and I'm going to catch more and bigger fish than this guy, and I usually do, because it's really, really, really hard to outfish natural bait. Now, at times like this, it's midsummer in the Sierras. This lake is full of food. It's full of crawfish, it's full of bugs, and there's a good supply of minnows and small trout. So these trout, they have no problem finding something to eat. They're very tentative on the strike. If I come up here and troll spoons, I'll get 2 or 3 strikes in the morning and I'll catch a couple fish. But what I've found that consistently produces up here right now is a worm, because I'm able to use the flasher or a dodger to pull the fish in. They sample the worm, they get a taste of it, and even though they aren't super fired up, they'll usually keep working on the worm if I keep, playing with them on the pedals, speeding up, slowing down, turning left, turning right. I can usually get those fish to get aggressive enough to get hooked on the worm. I can't do that with a spoon. They come in, they nip at it, I either get them or I don't, and because they're not super aggressive, those fish, if they're hooked at all, if they're lightly hooked, they're hard to land. So live bait makes sense at this lake at this time. Earlier in the spring, spoons and plugs. This fall, spoons, plugs, flies. But right now, natural bait. Night crawlers all the time, It's very consistent. So that's why I use natural bait at times. I would encourage you to use natural bait at times. It just helps you catch more and bigger fish, you know, consistently. Lake Oroville, you want to go out and troll for kings, you want to use a white tube or a white hoochie behind a silver dodger, but if you really want to tip the odds in your favor, put a little strip of anchovy meat on the hooks of that hoochie, and if you really want to tip the odds in your favor, put on a 6-inch sling blade or a 6-inch fisheye pro, put on a double hook leader, and just put an anchovy fillet on that leader and run it, you know, 2.5 dodger links behind the blade. You're going to be yelling fish on. It's not glamorous, it's not sexy, it's live bait. It's what the fish eat, natural bait. It's what the fish eat. They've got a taste for it. You get them chomping on it, you're going to get a hookup. I'm Kel Kellogg. I hope you take this tip to heart. And thank you, Daryl. Thanks for reaching out. If you're looking for trout gear, if you're looking for spoons or turbos, rods, reels, and more, go on over to fishhuntshoot.com and check out my full line of tackle. It's quality gear, stuff that I offer at a fair price, stuff that you see me using here on the channel, stuff that produces fish, you know, very consistently throughout the season. I'm Kel Kellogg. I'm signing off for now. I will catch you next time right here on YouTube. Thanks a lot, guys.